Hi, my name is Ashley and I am the 4-H program assistant, and this week is Ag Literacy Week and today is Ag Literacy Day. I'm going to read you guys an agriculture book called Sarah and the Feed Room Monster. Meet Sarah, a sweet little girl who lives on a ranch in Texas. Sarah loves school, her friends, and her family. Sarah loves being outdoors and being around animals. So Sarah joined 4-H and loves to show cattle and pigs. It was a new school year and fall was here. The weather was getting cooler and the leaves were changing too. Her heifers were enjoying the cool weather, especially her shorthorns. It's a picture of her cows. It was also time for Halloween, one of Sarah's favorite holidays. Last year, she dressed up as Boots, the barn cat. All the kids at school were talking about Halloween. Their costumes, ghosts, spiders, and goblins. Spooky stuff. When Sarah got home from school every day, she went straight to the show barn, except today. She noticed a big spooky cobweb by the barn door. "Hey, Dad," she said. "See these cobwebs?" Sarah asked. She was still thinking about all the Halloween talk at school. "Are you slacking off on your barn cleaning duties, Sarah?" her dad joked. Sarah grabbed a broom and swatted down the cobwebs. That night, she would sweep a little harder when she cleaned the barn. After the chores were done and the heifers turned out, Sarah checked all the corners for cobwebs. It was nearly dark outside when Sarah closed up the barn. A cold wind sent a shiver down Sarah's spine. Just as she went to close up the feed room, Sarah heard a noise. Scratch, scratch. "Who's there?" Sarah asked. All was quiet. Scratch, scratch, scratch. It was coming from the feed room. Sarah bolted out of the barn without even closing the door. She was spooked. Was there a monster in the feed room? Well, the next morning, Sarah wished she would have shut the door the night before. Raccoons got in the feed room and made a giant mess. "Sarah, this is why we have to shut the door tight every night," her dad scolded as he walked outside. "Yes, sir," Sarah said as she cleaned up the mess. Scratch, scratch, scratch. There it was again. "Dad!" she screamed as she ran out of the feed room. Sarah came bolting out of the barn. "What in the world?" her dad said. "What's going on?" "There's a monster in the feed room. I heard it last night. That's why I ran off without shutting the door." "You are silly, Sarah. There's no monster in the feed room. You're just spooked with Halloween coming." Sarah went back to work, but she kept her eyes wide open. Maybe it was her imagination, but it seemed the feed room door was a lot scarier than normal. They worked late in the barn again that night, and the wind was whistling. An old black crow flew by and spooked the daylights out of Sarah. The feed room door was still open, but after last night's trouble, Sarah knew she had to close it. She was scared to death. She looked around for her dad, but he was already inside. She called for her sister Sadie, but she was playing by the house. Slowly, Sarah crept up to the feed room. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Sarah took a deep breath, slammed the feed room door shut, and ran home as fast as her legs would take her. As she ran inside, her Nana was there in the kitchen visiting. "What's all the fuss, Sarah?" Nana asked. Sarah told her all about the feed room monster. "Oh, you silly girl. Halloween has got you all worked up. I'll come by tomorrow, and we'll get to the bottom of this." All day at school, Sarah was nervous. What would they find? A big goblin, a spooky ghost, or a purple feed-eating monster? Whatever it was, one thing was certain: Nana could get it. Sure enough, there was Nana at the barn as soon as Sarah got home. She had her flashlight, an empty feed bag, and a rope halter. She was ready. Nana opened the feed door slowly. Scratch, scratch, scratch. "Yep, there's definitely something in here, Sarah." Nana flipped on her flashlight. They shined the flashlight around. Scratch, scratch, scratch. They heard it again. Oh my, the monster was close. "Give me that," Sarah said as she grabbed the flashlight from Nana. Then she saw a pair of glowing eyes in the corner of the barn. She grabbed Nana's arm. "Let's get out of here." "Hold it right there," Nana said, and she moved the feed bag, revealing Boots, the barn cat, with 5 little kittens. "Ah ha ha! There's your feed room monster," Nana said. They took the kittens up to the house and everyone laughed about it over dinner. So much for the feed room monster. Oh well, at least the barn got a good cleaning out of it. Happy Halloween. There's the cat with the kittens. I hope you enjoyed Sarah and the Feed Room Monster, and happy Ag Week.